Southwestern Johnston County. You want to go ahead, take cover right away, and just play it safe in case there is a tornado on the ground. No reports of a tornado, but we're getting at least the reports of some rotation. We haven't had many reports of damage at all during the course of the afternoon hours, but you see here, this is the spot, Spivey's Corner, and then into southwestern and western parts of Johnston County. Those are the areas that are under that tornado warning. So you want to take cover and just play it safe. Severe thunderstorm warnings are also in effect for all of the southern two-thirds of Wake County, western sections of Johnston County, and much of Harnett County. That's in effect until 3:45, that severe thunderstorm warning. Very heavy rain appears to be the biggest threat. We're not getting a whole lot of reports of any damage at all from even the wind reports that we've had during the course of the day. There's the wide view. Still have showers and thunderstorms. The back edge of all of this is about pushing into the triangle now around Chatham County. And you see it's drying out to the west. And our threat of severe weather will end as this makes its way towards the east during the next several hours. If you're just joining us, though, a tornado warning in effect now for parts of Cumberland County east of Fayetteville, not the city of Fayetteville, but eastern parts of Cumberland County, northern Sampson County, and southwestern sections of Johnston County. That tornado warning in effect until 4 o'clock, and it's mainly for this part of the cell, which looks pretty weak on radar, but when we show this view, it shows a little more impressive cell structure there, pushing right into western parts of Sampson County. And again, this is where there was at least some report of some circulation with this cell near Wade and a little bit south of there. I don't see a real strong signature once again of this, but anywhere in this region, there could be a quick spin up east of Wade towards Spivey's Corner, fairly rural area of eastern Cumberland, northwestern sections of Sampson County. This is the spot where it looks like there's the best chance of any rotation at all, but that's a little bit southeast of Wade where the original rotation was seen. All in all, though, bottom line is if you're in this spot, you just need to just play it safe and don't take any chances from eastern Cumberland County into northern Sampson, southwestern Johnston County. These tornado warnings are in effect. Also, that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for much of Harnett County, western Johnston County, and much of the southern two-thirds of Wake County. It's been a tough go of it for kids heading home from school this afternoon with this very heavy rainfall. Outside of this tornado warning area, there's really not a lot of rain in that except for the cell there. But these spots here from Harnett County into Wake and back into parts of Durham, you're about to get hit again with very heavy rainfall across those areas. You see heavy rain again, northern Granville County into Durham County, and all of this is pressing on to the east very quickly at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Now, if we go over to Weather 1, show you where the tornado watch is in effect right now. It's in effect until 5 o'clock for all of the region. It'll be, I think, expiring at 5 o'clock on schedule. But there you see the outline of the tornado warning in purple and the severe thunderstorm warning in the yellow there. This is a radar satellite view of the numerous showers and thunderstorms across the region during the course of the day. But notice back out to the west, you get into the western Carolinas, and it's just some scattered light shower activity. So as we head towards sunset, really things will be quieting down rapidly. Look at the rainfall amounts. Not a lot to the east, but as we get towards the northwest, 1-2 inches, where you see that yellow there across northern parts of the triangle and into Granville County. So some heavy rainfall once again. It's been a wet September, running double the normal amount of rain. Showers and storms will be diminishing as we head into the evening hours. Let's go back over to Weather 3, excuse me. And if you're just joining us, the reason we're on the air, we've got a tornado warning that's in effect until 4 o'clock for eastern parts of Cumberland County, northern Sampson County, and southwestern Johnston County. This is the type of situation very dissimilar to April 16th a couple of years ago. This is more of the type of situation you get in the cool season, if you will, the spring or fall months into the early spring, including the winter, where the tornadoes are not all that apparent. They're small, they're weak, and they're brief, and they don't show up on radar detection and velocity when we show you that very well. They're not real strong tornadoes like we had April 16th. If they do occur, they're weak and very quick, but this is the spot here east of Wade into western parts of Sampson County where there could be a potential tornado. But again, no reports of that. Just seeing some minor reports as we look at this. We look for really greens and reds coming together in a really close area, and that tells us the winds are coming away from and towards the radar site in a very strong fashion. This is a fairly weak display, so we're not getting a real strong return in terms of velocity velocity aloft. So it's a good sign. It means that there may not be a tornado on the ground. But if it's a weak tornado, sometimes it's hard to tell that may or may not be a tornado on the ground. It very well could be. This is just east of Interstate 95. This is 95 right here, just north of Stedman. This is right along the Cumberland-Sampson County line. Fairly rural area, but folks in that area want to take cover and play it safe for the next little bit until this tornado warning is expired or canceled maybe potentially canceled a little bit early. But this is the region again. It's this cell making its way towards the northeast at about 40 miles per hour right in here approaching Spivey's Corner. You can see it there right on the Cumberland and Sampson County line. That was the cell that may have at least a weak tornado. That's why the tornado warning is in effect right now. But back out to the wide view across the triangle again. It is a stormy afternoon, very heavy rainfall pushing into eastern Wake County right now, and another band of heavier showers. This is the last of it, but pushing into Durham County, into Chatham County right now, making its way towards the east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So one more round of heavy rainfall, and then we'll just get into some scattered showers during the evening hours, and things will really quiet down very quickly. Many areas are just getting heavy rain without any warnings. Again, we have not had any reports of any damage during the course of the day. No reports even of any flooding during the course of the day, but we do have a couple of warnings, and we've had some. We've got some now. That tornado warning to the south and the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Wake County, Johnston, and western Harnett County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 3:45, and until 4 we have this tornado warning for eastern Cumberland. And I think really in eastern Cumberland you're in pretty good shape. The threat of severe weather there has diminished a great deal. I think it's mainly in this spot of western sections of Sampson County into Harnett County, Johnston County, that you need to just be alert and take cover, especially Newton Grove, Spivey's Corner, southwestern parts of Johnston County. You want to take cover. Remember, the best place to be in the middle of the house, the lowest floor. Cover your head and just take it easy. Stay in that position until, in that safe place until the storm passes. As we look again, we don't see a whole lot of rotation in any of this, so it's hard to really track this because we just don't see anything of any real consequence. But if you're around Spivey's Corner, this area here, you want to go ahead and just take it easy and again, just ride out the storm until it passes on by. There's not a lot of cloud to ground lightning with this as it pushes on towards the east. Steve Stewart's joined me here, coming on his day off to help track this severe weather. And Steve, again, we had no reports of a tornado in Granville County, right, and no reports so far of one in the areas of the Sandhills, but these are quick-moving cells, and they can sometimes drop a quick tornado.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And as you said earlier, we were talking about the threat is mainly straight-line winds, especially now. But as we look upstream just a little bit, we look around Greenville, these areas, I just checked some of the parameters, and it's very unstable compared to where we are right now. They had more sun today, as we know, so the atmosphere is very unstable. So as this line moves farther east of Interstate 95, we expect to see more warnings, albeit more than likely severe thunderstorm warnings, but the potential exists that we could see quite a bit of activity lining up in this general vicinity here in the next couple of hours as this line moves into a more unstable air mass. So something we're going to obviously keep a close eye on. The rain showers that Chris has just mentioned now, again, very heavy downpours. Not a good idea to be on the roads right now. You're going to get ponding on the roadways. There's going to be a lot of issues with folks trying to drive at this time. It's a bad time of the day as a lot of folks are starting to get on the road right about this time.
Yeah, and we had reports of some accidents around the triangle too that backed up some injuries and caused quite a few backups with this heavy downpours. If nothing else, the visibility gets thrown down to a half a mile or less in these really heavy downpress to the east. So once again, if you're joining us, let's go back over the Weather 3, and we're covering this live as the tornado threat may be fairly small, but still there is one, and that's why the tornado warning in effect until 4 o'clock for eastern Cumberland. I really think in eastern Cumberland you're okay because the meat of the storm, the brunt of it, has pushed now into western Sampson County, and that's the area just around Spivey's Corner where if there is a tornado or at least any rotation, it's pushed into that region. So I think in the next few moments the National Weather Service will sort of whittle this away and clear Cumberland County from that threat. Now there is some heavy rain around Fayetteville if you're watching right over the downtown area, but nothing severe with that. It is just producing some heavy rain right over the downtown region right now, and that's making it for a tough go for folks there trying to get home as well around Fayetteville. And not just around the triangle are things fairly rough right now. So again, these areas under the gun include eastern. That severe thunderstorm warning has been whittled away just a little bit across parts of Wake County. It's now eastern Wake County and eastern sections of Harnett County, and then back over to parts of Johnston County. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. We also now have a new tornado warning. It looks like it's coming in for parts of eastern Wake and southern sections of Nash and or much of Nash and southern Franklin County. Let's see if we can find that one. Here it is, Franklin, Nash, and these areas. Let's go ahead and read that one to you. This tornado warning just came across to us. Same type of thing with a quick spin up potentially, but tornado warning for southeastern Franklin, east central Wake, and Nash County until 4:15. This is another one just issued by the National Weather Service, a potential tornado around Wendell making its way towards the northeast. It hasn't popped up on our weather thing here, our weather display, but it will soon. And also a flash flood warning just to get things going, a flash flood warning for all of Wake County. But the most important one here is the tornado warning that's in effect until 4:15. Again, this just came across southeastern Franklin, east central Wake, and Nash County until 4:15. Doppler indicates a possible tornado over Wendell, or 17 miles east of Raleigh, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Locations include Pilot, Dunn, Spring Hope, and Castalia. So again, that has not yet popped up on the radar display here, but it will soon, I think. We're just having a little bit of a delay in that. But if you're in eastern Wake, Nash County, and also east central Wake, Nash County, and southeastern Franklin County, it'd be this general area of here, like in this particular region. This is the area under the new tornado warning that's in effect for those areas. There was a potential tornado showing up on radar that at least rotation aloft that there it is, popped up there. So there you see that new warning for east central parts of Wake County into southeastern Franklin County and much of Nash County. That's in effect until 4:15. So now we have two tornado warnings in effect and a flash flood warning for Wake County as well. That's one of our lesser concerns at the moment, but that can be a big danger. So you want to, again, take that seriously. Anywhere in Wake County, do not attempt to drive through a flooded roadway for sure. That's the tornado warning, though. Again, this potential tornado right around Wendell, heading towards potentially Zebulon too, as it moves to the east-northeast. So if you're in Wendell, Zebulon, towards Bunn and Middlesex in Nash County, and back towards Spring Hope, you want to go ahead and take cover. If we can go over to weather too, Steve's got a display that looks a little bit better, shows that potential rotation there. Now this is into eastern Wake County. There you see Zebulon, and to the west of there around West Gannon Avenue, Pineview Estates.
Yeah, and this just popped up as we were speaking. I lapsed this, and I'll go ahead and lapse it again there, Chris, so you can see that there wasn't anything there, and all of a sudden, boom, we get this signature where you see those greens and the reds close together. We call that a couplet, and that's an indication that we could have some really tight rotation, albeit a quick hitter. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next image that comes in that this is going to be a little bit smaller and possibly go away. As you said, these seem to spin up very quickly and don't last very long, but this is where we're looking at. There's Pineview Estates, potential rotation in this area. We're not sure. It's not a confirmed tornado, but we would suggest if you live in this area, you need to take shelter immediately, get to the center part of your home, get away from windows, and wait for this to pass. And Zebulon, as you see the direction this is moving, I'll go ahead and lapse it one more time as it's heading in that direction. If it is possibly a tornado, you need to go ahead and take shelter as well. Right, and so we've got a variety of hazards now out there, Steve. Let's go back to weather 3, and we'll pull back the view and show you everything that's going on across the region right now. And you can see we've got a flash flood warning in effect now for Wake County. We have a tornado warning, 2 of them. Now, what we talked about earlier in Cumberland County, that's come to pass. Tornado warning now has been cleared out of Cumberland County because the cell has moved out, but that tornado warning remains in effect for northern Sampson and southern sections of Johnston County until 4 o'clock. And then the new tornado warning in effect until 4:15 that was just issued for areas of east central Wake and over into Nash
County and much of Nash, from Nashville back to the county line with Franklin and Wake, and southeastern Franklin County. That tornado warning in effect until 4:15. And the severe thunderstorm warning, that's some good news. That has expired for areas of Wake and Johnston County. But 2 tornado warnings now. So if you're anywhere in these areas where you're under a tornado warning, probably is a very small or weak tornado if there is one, and may not last all that long. But if it hits your house, obviously it is a pretty big deal. Now you see on Weather 2, that's the new picture there, and it's kind of tough to see any rotation there, but there's a little bit.
There is a little bit.
This is back in the Sandhills, back towards Sampson County.
Look, as we lapse it, as it's coming, we had a better couplet, and then it just kind of went away. But the potential, if there is any rotation, it's going to be where we circled it right there at this time.
Right. So about 10 miles or so, it looks like southwest of Spivey's Corner.
Yeah, and then moving in that direction as well.
Right. So again, if you're in Cumberland County in the clear, there was a small part of Cumberland County that was impacted by that. Back to Weather 3, you can see there are some heavy showers pushing into Durham County once again, pushing across Durham County, Chatham County, into Granville County, where you had a tornado warning earlier, but that has expired. Just some heavy rain there. The 2 tornado warnings we have are with this. Really, it's part of this line. There's a line of showers and thunderstorms from Warren County to Franklin County through eastern Wake. You can see it pretty clearly, and there are little mini spin-ups along this line here. This is really the area. I don't think it's absolutely impossible you'd see a spin-up in this line of showers, but it's more likely with this one that's pushing into the coastal plain right now. So this will be impacting areas along and east of Interstate 95, and so it's not impossible even during the next couple of hours until it clears the entire area that there's another tornado warning or 2 issued, but those are the ones we have.
One signature, then it goes away.
Yeah, Steve's back on Weather 2, and you can see it's really, if you can go back to Weather 2, you can see as we lapse it, you see it, and then you don't.
Right there, and then it's gone. Yeah.
So it's not impossible that there is a really weak tornado on the ground. We don't want to give the clear, obviously, because the tornado warning is still in effect. But it's the same thing that happened in Granville County. We saw the spin up for about 10 minutes. Saw the rotation, then it was gone. And the National Weather Service canceled the warning because they saw the same thing, that there was no rotation being displayed on radar anymore. And hopefully that's the case here. We're not seeing it, but again, it doesn't matter in terms of safety. Just to be completely safe, we want you to take cover in those areas. Eastern Wake County, back over to Weather 3, you'll be able to see these spots that are under the tornado warnings that are in effect right now. East Central Wake, the eastern third or so of Franklin County, and much of Nash County. That's a tornado warning that's in effect until 4:15. And the storm that's potentially producing the tornado is right here over eastern Wake County, right around Zebulon. But we really can't find a real strong signature. As we said, it's kind of spun up quickly and then went away. But still, it doesn't mean that there isn't one. And certainly if that warning's in effect, we don't want to tell people just to forget about it. So those are the spots. 4:15, flash flood warning for Wake County. I think the threat of heavy rain is moving out, though. It's pretty apparent, but there could be a renewed threat of flash flooding because of this line of showers and thunderstorms that's pushing into Durham County, into eastern sections of Chatham County. Again, these areas that are getting some heavy rainfall. Our producer just said something in my ear and I didn't get it. You want to tell me that again? Okay. Larry's got some information over on the desk. Larry, you're just a few feet away from me, but I didn't see you sitting there. Back to you, Larry.
That's okay, Chris. We wanted to revisit that traffic situation we told you about earlier. It's on Interstate 85 north of Durham. The southbound lanes, or at least one of the lanes of Interstate 85 South, have been blocked off. Durham police are working traffic there. But we do have some pretty big backups. Now, this is between Glen School Road and Red Mill Road. Now, the view is coming from the Redwood Road intersection, showing the backups there. Apparently what happened, and we do have breaking news, one on the ground there, apparently an ambulance overturned. You can see it right there. We don't know the circumstances, but we do know that there have been at least some injuries involved in that wreck. We're working to get details on what may have caused this wreck and also how many people may have been, if that was on an emergency call or if it was on a convalescence call. But that's the situation as it appears right now. We have some pretty long traffic backups on Interstate 85 South, going all the way back up toward the Creedmoor area. Police are on the scene trying to unsnarl this mess right now. So that's the situation right now on Interstate 85 north of Durham, Chris.
Okay, Larry, got some good news. The tornado warning for Sampson and Johnston County has been canceled. That storm is weakened. Now, it's still showing up there on our radar display, but I think it'll be disappearing pretty quickly. As Steve and I were talking about, we couldn't really find any real rotation there. It spins up quickly, then it goes away. They issue the warning, but they cancel it sooner, which is good. It gets canceled ahead of the original expiration time. So that tornado warning canceled there for parts of Johnston and northern Sampson County. Still a severe thunderstorm warning there. We also have still that tornado warning for eastern sections of Wake County, also into Nash and southern parts of, or eastern parts of Franklin County. Hard to find any real rotation with that right now. It could be the same situation that we had in Granville County and also into the Sandhills, where these rotations spin up really quickly and then they go away. And as we look at this again, don't really see a strong rotation signature in eastern Wake. It was right around Zebulon, Wendell, where we had that rotation for at least a brief moment, but not seeing that really at the moment there. But there's some heavy rain in some of those regions. There you see in eastern Wake, the tornado warning canceled there for eastern Wake County. That's going to zoom out and let's get out of that. Zoom back out to the full view, and there you see it's been canceled for Wake County, but still in effect for Johnston, Nash and eastern sections of Franklin County as well. We've got some weather pictures, our first alert weather stations. Let's go over to Weather 7 if we can and take you over to Zebulon. You can see there's some heavy rain around 5 County Stadium. At least there was. It's beginning to taper off. Visibility is improving there, but certainly some wet weather there in eastern sections of Wake County. We go to North Hills, and a lot of clouds, the showers diminishing, but another line coming in from the west. It's over Durham County right now. So if you're in Wake County, that flash flood warning remains in effect, but the rain has decreased for the moment, but there's more on the way. One more shot at some heavier showers before we just get into some scattered shower activity later on. Into Durham we go, and the heavy rain has actually moved east of the downtown area. Just some light rain now as that heavier rain presses towards western Wake. And there's Raleigh-Durham International. A lot of clouds, wet tarmac there. A little bit of a break, though. As we go back to Weather 3, you can see around the airport things are pretty quiet in western Wake County. It's this line of showers here that's over eastern Durham County that'll be pressing its way towards the east, and that'll be again impacting much of Wake County, so that's why the flash flood warning remains in effect. Again, the good news is no tornado warning in effect for the areas around Cumberland or Sampson or Johnston County. That tornado warning has been canceled. We do still have this tornado warning in effect until 4:15. That's in effect for eastern sections of Nash County, or much of Nash, and eastern Franklin County. It's in this line of thunderstorms every once in a while. It's a line of showers and heavy storms. You can see it pretty well here. That is extending from South Hill, Virginia, into Warren County, Franklin County, into Johnston and northern Sampson County. This is pressing towards the east, and every once in a while, there's a quick spin up along that line. And it typically has not produced a tornado, but if we get that signature, and the National Weather Service has to issue a warning, because if there is a signature aloft of rotation, it can make its way to the ground in a matter of seconds, and it's better to be safe than sorry. So many times you're going to get a warning, and there may not or will not be a tornado. It's just a rotation aloft, but the National Weather Service has to issue those warnings, because if it does make it to the ground, it can be in a matter of seconds and lives will be at stake. So better safe than sorry, and hopefully that's the case here, that there is no tornado on the ground. We haven't had any report of any tornado on the ground. We do have one report of some trees down in roadway in Johnston County, right around Benson, just a little while ago. This was called in around about 10 minutes ago, so there has been some wind damage out there, and these thunderstorms. Okay, we've got some good news here too. The tornado warning for Nash and Franklin counties is canceled. So now we have no tornado warnings in effect at all across the region. All of these tornado warnings have been canceled. No threat of any tornadoes at the moment. They're still showing up there, but it'll pop out in just a little bit. And it's what Steve and I were talking about. Very quick spin ups, and we see it for a moment or two, the rotation, then it goes away, and we have really nothing to track for you because we can't find the rotation. The National Weather Service typically waits a few minutes before they cancel the warning, because occasionally you can lose that signature and it comes right back up, and it doesn't make sense to issue a warning, cancel it, and then issue it again. So they wait for a couple of cycles on the radar where there is no signature of rotation. They wait for about 5-10 minutes where they don't see it to be sure it's not going to pop back up again. It doesn't mean it won't, and they have to issue a warning, but that's the reason sometimes that we talk about there is no rotation, but the warning stays into effect. They want to make sure that that rotation doesn't come back up. So again, what we have right now is just a flash flood warning for Wake County, that still can be serious. You want to be extra careful, never attempt to drive through a flooded roadway, and also this severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect for parts of northern Sampson and southern Johnston County, although that too looks like it's weakened a bit, and the heaviest part is just off to the north a little bit. So all in all, things looking up. Again, the threat of tornadoes diminishing for just a little bit across the region. If we can, we'll go over to Weather 1 and take another look at our first alert weather stations. There's RDU Airport. You get a little bit better view there. 72 degrees, about 6/10 of an inch of rain there today. More heavy rain about to move into western parts of Wake County. And there you see Fayetteville, and it looks like an ominous shot there, but again, the heaviest rain has moved out. Well, we also look at the echo tops. This is where you can get a look at where the height of the storm. And you notice they're right around Fayetteville. That really blows up, and then you see into western Wake County. Many of these cells are very what we call low top. They don't extend high into the atmosphere.
Right, absolutely. But we see a couple of these, that the ones where we did get severe thunderstorms that reached up to 45,000 feet. That's the highest cloud top I saw. And for this time of the year, that's pretty impressive, and obviously lots of lightning with these storms. So wait until they pass. That second line you were talking about, Chris, I'm a little bit, like you said, maybe it's going to aggravate some flooding that we've been seeing in Wake County.
Right. And Steve, we still have the tornado watch that's in effect for much of the area until, actually all of the area until 5 o'clock. But that threat of tornadoes, once that line goes through the next couple of hours to the east of the triangle, along and east of Interstate 95, I think we'll start to see things start to wind down. We should have a pretty quiet evening around here, I think, the way it looks.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for, absolutely. It moves on out, but we still have that tornado warning in effect for how much longer?
Well, actually, we just got the
canceled.
It says the tornado warning for Nash and southeastern Franklin counties is canceled. It just hasn't gotten into our system just yet. So really the only warning we have are two: the flash flood warning and then that severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for those areas. There you see a wider view of the numerous rounds of showers and thunderstorms we've had during the course of the day. But notice back to the west, it's just some scattered showers around Asheville and the upstate of South Carolina. So once this goes by, we'll start to see the threat of severe weather diminishing rapidly. I really don't see the tornado watch being extended past 5 o'clock, although areas to the east, it'll be a close call along and east of Interstate 95 to get that line out of there. So it's not impossible. They may extend it for just a little while in areas east of the triangle. This is the rainfall amounts the last 24 hours, and you see very heavy rain across portions of Durham and Orange counties and back into Granville County too, on the order of a couple of inches, while amounts so far have been an inch or less into much of Wake County. So the amounts have varied, but we've had a really wet September, 5-6 inches of rain in many spots, more than double, only halfway through. Tonight, just a lingering shower. Any storms will be diminishing during the next couple of hours, and by morning it'll be dry, upper 50s, lower 60s, some mid 60s to the south. Our AccuWeather predictor forecast model, as we head through the rest of the overnight hours, notice everything nice and quiet across the region, and we should have a decent day tomorrow. There'll be a lot of lingering clouds along and east of Interstate 95, and that'll hold temperatures down. We got a cooler air mass coming in, so highs tomorrow only into the low and mid 70s across the region, 73, 74 in many spots, mid 70s down to the south across the area, and low and mid 70s off to the north and east. There's a look at the extended, just a quick shot there at the 7-day as we get some nice weather in here. Let's go back over now to Weather 3 and show you what's going on in terms of any severe weather. The tornado warnings have all been canceled now across the region, so no worries with that. It's not impossible, though. Again, we'll be watching this. The Eyewitness News at 4 will start in just a couple of minutes. Steve Stewart and I'll keep an eye on this. This is the line of storms, though, that has prompted 3 tornado warnings during the course of the afternoon. We haven't had one confirmation, which is good news, but we do have had several warnings with this. So as it presses on to the east towards Rocky Mount, Wilson, Goldsboro, we'll keep an eye on that. Not able, there's another quick spin up, and another tornado warning has to be issued for some of those areas. And that should be in the next hour or so if that occurs. Once we get past 5, 6 o'clock, the threat of severe weather will be diminishing rapidly. And I think once we get to sunset, it's pretty much over, and we should have a nice quiet night and several nice days to look forward to around here. But there is more heavy rain pushing into parts of the triangle right now as well. You see this into eastern sections of Durham County, into extreme western Wake. It's right on the Wake-Durham County line, and this will be pressing eastward towards the airport, towards Morrisville and Cary and Apex too. You get another quick shot of some heavy rain, and that's the back edge of the most significant rainfall across the region. Again, the threat of any real severe weather is going to be off to the east, along in the east of Interstate 95 in the next little bit. So we'll stay on top of this. Of course, we have much more in the next 2.5 hours during Eyewitness News. It begins now from Raleigh. Eyewitness News at 4.